I welcome everybody to this channeling with Jeshua. We're going to take some breath for a little while, in a minute, and drop into the channel. But firstly, I want to share that this is a group process that Jeshua has always said to me as a channel that the words are secondary to the energy that we drop into and allow and generate as a group. So it's an energetic process as much as it is a cerebral one of hearing and listening and being with the information. Um, but he's always said to me that all the words have already been given, the information has already been given. But it's the experience and the embodiment and the learning to become the lived expression of those words that's really of the greatest value. And I dare say this is a part of his plan to enact that, to bring that into beingness. Um, so the invitation is to breathe deeply, is to relax, is to allow, and to be a part of that flow of energy. Hmm. So yeah, I think that's everything. So we're going to breathe now for a while, and then I will drop into a prayer. And then after that, there'll be some silence as I navigate the way into the channel. And that can take a couple of minutes, depending on where where my mind is, where my parts are, where my psyche is on the day. Sometimes it can take a little bit longer. Please be patient. And if there's any issues with that, I'll come back and let you know. But it's of real importance to me that the channel is clear and aligned before that movement of energy is offered. So yeah, here we are. Let's breathe. Holy Father, Mother, God, Goddess. It is the intention to hold a space of profound clarity, integrity, with sincerity, and to offer this form, this breath, this heart, this mind, this group, this space, and this time to our brother Yeshua to speak, to express, to extend through his light that which he would extend. So I ask you, Father, Mother God, to help me and help us to allow that space without hindrance or resistance. Amen. Now we begin. And indeed, greetings unto you, my beloved brothers and sisters. Indeed, greetings unto you, my friends. Hmm? For I come not unto you as one who is above you. I come unto you as one who would sit with you, who indeed in this moment sits with you, not apart, not above, but beside you and in alignment with the holy essence of your beingness. For it is your holy essence that is the reality of yourself. And it is yourself that I come to abide with. And it is yourself that I am in communication with always. For I am never apart from my friends. I am never apart from my sisters. And I am never apart from my brothers. For we abide in the eternal peace that is even now present in the depth of your heart. That is yourself. And so, my friends, I come to be with you. I come to sit with you. I come to hold your hand in love and grace with a simple intention, which is the simple intention that drives the whole of creation. It is the simple intention that fuels the atonement in its entirety. It is the simple intention that, when embraced fully again in the heart of your heart, will lead you home in the blink of an eye and the click of a finger. It is the intention to extend love. It is perfect in its simplicity, for it requires no thing. Hmm? It requires no set of circumstances to be present, even though there would be aspects of mind in separation that would imagine, indeed, would they not, that there must be circumstances that are favorable to the extension of love before that love can be extended. And yet, what folly that is! What falsehood that is to imagine that the extension of love must depend upon any set of circumstances. It is the intention to extend love that brings me unto you in this moment and in every moment. For it is the very directive of my being, as it is the directive of all being. For it is the foundational principle of the Father's desire to create. It is the purpose itself of creation. You as yourself, as the essence of love, have been birthed of the Father and the Mother through the forms of soul and body to do but one thing, to hold but one essence, which is this very same thing, this extension of love. It is your directive in creation. And it is the content that the Father brings to all forms, to all movements of energy, to every circumstance, to every scenario, to every personality, to every conceivable potentiality in the dream of separation, even. For has it not been said that what is not love is but a call for it? Is it not true that your brothers and your sisters call forth from you constantly the desire to receive the extension of your love? And is it not true that from the depths of your own mind, from the fragmented pivot points in the separate dream that you are dreaming, that in the core of every aspect of your personality, is there not a place that calls for the extension of that love from you? I come to abide with you in the intention for the extension of love and simply remind you that this is your purpose. And it starts at home. It starts within the fabric of your own mind. It starts within the field of your own creation. For is there one of your creations that does not call forth for love from you? But how is it possible to extend love from an aspect of mind that is seeking for it? How can you give something you have not yet allowed yourself to find? How can you offer love into the mind if you are within an aspect of mind that is committed to its fear and its need and its lack of love? This is what must be put down, if only temporarily. And I come to you now to implore you, indeed, to clasp my hands in prayer and bow my head and place my knees upon the ground before you and pray that you would in this moment discard your lack, that you would in this moment release yourself from the shackles of your identification with this energy of lack within that says you do not know where love is or what love is. But these ideas, these thoughts, these beliefs are but the passing clouds within the sky of your infinite being. If you would, and I implore you, put down your grip upon these things within your mind. Release yourself. Release yourself from the false identity with the contraction that abides within mind that you have conjured, that you have created, that you have given unto yourself as experience, that you have dreamt into being from a false idea, because you have wanted to know what it is to abide within uh, an appearance of a lack of love that in reality cannot exist. Those places within your mind that imagine that they lack for love in reality cannot exist. Love is here now and it is within you. Love is here now. It is within you. Love is here now and it is within you. When you will allow yourself to acknowledge the truth of it for yourself. Now, this does not mean that you must abandon your creations of lack. It does not mean that you turn your back on what you've made. It does not mean that you reject or push away. On the contrary, it means that you return to the field of the heart in which all things can be embraced in innocence and truth. I come to you now as your friend and your brother. I come to you now to implore you to return to the queendom of your own heart, to allow the restoration of your awareness into the self that is at one with me and God and life and truth and all things in creation, if only for a moment, if only for a moment, this moment, if only for this moment, you would allow yourself the restoration to occur within the field of your mind, that you can reclaim the energy of the quiet joy that abides always and eternally in the depths of your being, beneath the clutter of a mind in separation. Come, my friends, back to the source of yourself. Come unto the source of yourself that abides within. Let go the seeking and the needing. Let go these parts within your mind so that you can bring love here, so that you can fulfill the purpose given you within the atonement, which is simply to extend the light of your own beingness, the light of your truth, that is love, to extend yourself throughout the field of mind that you have patterned with the falseness of separation, which is the same as to say that it is time, my friends, to bring love to the worlds within, so that the world without can reflect that inception of truth, so that the reality of your own beingness can come to be present fully. Is this not what you truly desire in the depth of your beingness? Is this not what you have been striving towards for so long in your journey? Let it be known and clear that you need not strive for love. You need not strive, for the very essence of striving is grounded in a lack that is false, that is an untruth. Strive not, rather extract yourself from these parts that strive. Release your grip upon these places in mind that know themselves to be birthed from lack. And instead, embrace the reality of your own heart as the perfect and abundant field of infinite love and eternal love. This is who you are. And it is what I bring unto you, my friends. It is what I want to experience myself, which is communion with you, which is the extension of love with you. into mine. For it is there that I can truly join you. It is in that self that we know one another, that we have journeyed since before the beginning of time itself. It is that place within you that is so vast that all the worlds of all the minds on this plane of experience can simply be embraced by you in one breath, as one moment of experience, that the whole of the dream can be transmuted through one breath. That the realization of self, the realization of the vastness, the magnificence of Abba's creation that you are, can extend itself through every aspect of the dream, enlightening, transforming, atoning, until all of these worlds become like an echo of an echo of an echo of an echo in the mind. Some distant memory, like a mist at dawn that simply evaporates, leaving perfect clarity, where the mind of each one is simply sublimely awakened to the reality of love. Where every thought is inspired by the very heart of creation itself, where there is no separation between the self and the earth and the moon and the stars and the nature and each other. There is one flow of life, miraculous, exquisite, perfect in every aspect, recognized as such, celebrated as such, revered as such, by life itself showing up through the clarity of every mind, and each mind a unified whole, fractured no more, grounded in bliss, knowing the only thing that fuels movement is the extension of love in whatever form it may choose to take, whether that be to laugh and play and dance, or to sit in perfect silence and stillness and communion with nature and the Creator, or to create beautiful food or music, or to support another whose body is failing. Whatever it is, whatever that is, it is in perfect harmony with the symphony of all creation. And there is no distortion, no disturbance, no discord, for all resonates in the perfect symphony of the Father's heart and mind. Life becomes an effortless flow of simply that, of clear-mindedness, of surrender of self into the exquisite bliss of love itself in every moment. This is the vision of the future for life upon this planet. This is the desire and the will not only of the Father, but of the earth herself, of the Mother. It is the desire, is it not, that bubbles up from deep within your own heart as you receive these words and this energy? And is there not a knowingness of the inevitability of this? That there comes a point in time when all the mists of separation simply evaporate from every mind upon this plane. And there is harmony. And indeed, there will be some head scratching taking place, as those who have been committed to the fear and the doubt, the guilt and the shame, the anger, the need for retribution, and on and on and on through these qualities of separation, and on and on and on, when they simply dissolve from mind, leaving only the perfect clarity of a still and empty sky, in which it is immediately known that the breath that enters the body is the breath of love, that the breath that breathes the form is God herself, that the form that is breathed by God is an extension of that one too. And there is simply the knowingness, the knowing that there in reality could be nothing else, and that the dream was just a dream, playing out in billions of minds, creating trillions of worlds in every second. And the discord and the disharmony and the fragmentation of that will seem unreal, because it is. For it happens not in reality, for it happens only in the mind of the dreamer. And so, my beloved friends, my brothers and my sisters, I come to you in this way to share with you that the journey is certain. The vision described is the restoration of reality upon this plane of creativity, and it is certain. It has already occurred within the field of the mind of our Father, and I see it and know it and feel it because it is my reality also. And I come to sit beside you and hold your hand and encourage you to step into this space, this reality with me. To join with me. To put down the things of the world. And by that, I mean to put down these little ones inside who dream darkly of fear and guilt. to rest out of the world of your dreaming, to taste the nectar of reality, that you might, in the wisdom of yourself, return with love in your heart to embrace every creation you have ever made. To begin to suffuse your own mind with the light that blesses all things, that all things can come into that light and be restored to the one. This is my invitation to you. It is an extension of my desire, the desire that is birthed from the depths of my beingness, as given by my Father through me. It is the desire to see every one of my brothers and sisters who are but aspects of the same creation as I am, to see you return and restored in the mantle of your grace, in the righteousness of your place beside the Father. To see you, to feel you once more beside me in the kingdom, extending ceaselessly the love that you are, that you have been birthed as, that has been gifted unto you through the simple choice to serve only that in your mind. For how many masters do you serve right now? Have you, in your mind, made a master of lack? Have you laid upon the floor and allowed lack or guilt or fear to place its boot upon your neck? And do you at times gaze up into those dark, cold eyes and imagine yourself to be powerless in the face of such calamity? Have you not made masters of lack and guilt and fear and rage? Beloved friends, there need be no battle. There need be no struggle. There need be no fight. For you can simply laugh at the folly of your own making. For who is it that imagines these things? Who is it that imagines the reality of that which is not real? Who is it that gives power to that which holds no power? Who is it if it is not you yourself there? And Is it not within your power to simply dust yourself off with a smile on your face and proclaim, that was fun. That was fun. And now I'm done. I choose to make my master love once more and serve but one master in creation, which is the birther of all, which is love itself. It has been fun to imagine myself a victim of my own creations, of my own thinking, and just pause to reflect on the impossibility of being a victim of yourself. And yet there can be nothing else that affects you in this way but your own mind and your own choice and your own decision to give power to the powerless. So come, my friends, come and dance with me. Come and dance with me in the queendom. I invite you now. Step out from under the yoke of your own creation. Unshackle yourselves from the beliefs that you need do something to correct this mind. You do not. Release yourself from the burden of thinking that because you judge yourself, you must make amends in order to be good enough. This is falseness, and it is perfect, and it is finished if you choose for it to be. You can taste freedom now. You can be free now. You can bring love now to this mind you have used and formed with fear. You can be love now. I would dance with you, my friends, in the one heart that we share, to the beat of creation, to the beat of life itself. I would dance with you every day in the one breath, in the light that shines eternally through all creation. Shemaiah, the creative power of our Father that is creating this very experience now, that is giving of itself, as he gives of himself to generate you and me in this moment. Now we begin, and in this moment we are brand new. We are born again. We are born again eternally. So you see, my friends, there is no need to hold on to the past. There is nothing there of any value. You are born again now in this moment as the Father creates and recreates and recreates and births creation anew in every breath, in every instant. So I invite you to embrace your newness, your innocence, your power, your love, and to join me in extending that through mine ceaselessly. Now notice where you get stuck. Notice where you resist. Notice where there are parts in mind that would hook you back, that would keep you from love, that would give you the reason, the explanation, the justifications why it's not time for you. Notice how fear would hold on to itself and bring love. Oh, beloved friends, you are not these minds, and you are not these thoughts. You are not the busyness. You are not the struggle. You are the creator of worlds. And you are the liberator of worlds. You are the savior of your own world. You are that one birthed to restore the queendom to the mind that you have imagined yourself to be for so very, very long. You need not wait another day, another minute, another second. There is no justification for delay. There is no reason that can hold any validity in reality for you to remain in the dream of your creation. There is nothing left for you to experience other than atonement. I invite you to step out of the mind of separation and the worlds of your making and the dream of the dreamer, and to know thyself. The thinking mind is not thyself. That is what you have created to pull yourself away from the clarity, the stillness, and the silence of your truth. I invite you to step out, to become once more your own reality. You are not the world of thought. You are not the body. You are the stillness, that these things arise within. You are the silent field of love that is receptive to the movement of life, that grace is, that God is, that love is. I invite you to establish your being in the stillness of yourself, that we might extend love together into the worlds of mind and humanity. I do so because I love you. I love yourself. I see not the fields of your mind, nor the thoughts, nor the fragments, because I focus now on you, on who you are. I shine a light upon the essence of your beingness, your soul self, Christ incarnate, for that essence is incarnate now. and I join my light with yours, that it becomes amplified in the field of communion, that we grow together in our connection, that we become more, that we emerge within the dream itself, that we emerge as that light, as that one within the dream itself, that we shine forth together from the heart through the mind, letting all things and all beings know that the restoration, the return to love has occurred, it has occurred. And we rest and we play and we dance and we share love. This invitation stands. It stands now as it stood before, and it stands in every moment of our holy creation, in every instant, in every moment of renewal and rebirth. It stands. The invitation to join with me as light, to put down the things of the world, to withdraw to the sanctity of your own self, so that you can bless creation and the worlds of separation back into the wholeness of your own being, your own self, and thus perfect and fulfill the inevitable and that which already is at one. So for now, my friends, my brothers, and my sisters, I shall step back. Although in reality, I go nowhere, for I remain with you in communion, knowing you, enjoying you, celebrating you, revering you, enjoying you. For you are my sister, and you are my brother, and you are my friends. and you abide in me as I abide in you eternally. For we are birthed of the same light. And we shall reconvene, and I shall take questions and maybe even answer them. Mm. 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 So welcome back, everybody, on the recording. This is the Q&A section of our channeling today. I'm obviously not in channel right now, so we're gonna go through the process again of establishing that link, and we will go from there. And we've got Sarita in the room who's going to read the questions. Okay. So the invitation is to breathe deeply, relax the body, and just let go into the space. Really relax into the space. This is an opportunity to step out of mind and to be present as love. Holy Father, Mother God, Goddess, it is my intention to join in channel, to open this body, this heart, this mind, this soul, to receive my brother Yeshua and the lineage of Christ with him, to communicate. I ask your help in holding a clear channel. Amen. Yeshua, I invite you into presence through this body and mind. Now we begin again. Hmm. My friends, my brothers and my sisters, it is always a joy to join. It is always a joy and an honor to join with you in the field of one heart, to join with you in the field of the one holy breath, to join with you where you are, in the invitation for you to join with us where we are. For there is in reality and truth no necessity for the reality of yourself to abide in only one specificity or one dimensionality or one place. For it is infinitely possible for you, and I assure you this is true, to abide across a vast spectrum of creation simultaneously, to be where you are and where I am, and many other places beside. So I come again in invitation for you to join with us where we are, equally and even as we come to join with you where you imagine yourself to be right now. And within that joining, we rejoice and celebrate the essence of all that is and come to praise the Father and the Mother in the abundance of their giving, in the abundance of their giving of life itself, which is a celebration of all that is good and holy. And so with that and in this breath, we invite the questions from the group that we might join together in the answer, in the field of love itself. Sarita.
Hello, Jeshua. Recently, I've called to myself a context that feels way above my paycheck in terms of embracing, as it is bringing up fears I didn't even know I had. I'm grateful for this. However, when I'm facing the situation directly, my mind gets extremely active and goes into judgment and doesn't allow the heart to open. I thought that exposing myself to the fears was going to be enough, but now I'm realizing I need to actually become or merge with what I've judged and feared. Can you give me any advice on how to face and fully embrace this type of situation that feels so big and so impossible to the mind? Thank you.
Hmm. And indeed, thank you, my friend, for this question. Hmm. For it lends itself to much of what we have already spoken to. And that is that there is within the field of mind the grounding of judgment, the presence of deep fears. And these fears embedded in the mind have been present for a long, long, long time. And how wonderful indeed is it not that you have chosen to walk into a context of creation in which you can learn to witness these ancient places within your own mind. And yet, the process of healing that you do truly desire, which is the process of bringing and returning all that has been created to the essence of love given by self, is proving problematic because of the intensity of the judgment in mind. In truth, you do not have to become that which you have judged. You do not have to necessarily merge with it. There is no prerequisite for that to occur. And yet, there is the potentiality of the restoration of your own beingness into the flow of perfect acceptance, perfect allowance, which is the very essence of true forgiveness. That would give rise to merge. That would give rise to the communion in the heart that would express through mind the deepest of healing. What you are truly calling yourself unto, my friend, is the necessity. And I say this very purposefully, for it is a necessity. For you have, in truth, backed yourself into a corner in which you cannot navigate this situation whilst you are identified with these aspects of mind that judge. For it is, in truth, an impossibility to step forwards unless you are grounded in love. You are calling yourself into a quantum leap of clarity, in which you will no longer choose to abide nor tolerate this profound judgment at the root of your being. The merger that you talk of is a merger that must occur within the framework of your own mind first. For you are already that in an aspect of your own beingness, which is judged so vehemently. It is the reconciliation of these positions, each one founded in fear and judgment, therefore in guilt and shame, that opens the way for the heart to be at peace and rest and allowance of communion with other. My brother, I hope that brings some clarity unto you. I would add this: there is no rush. You have time. Communicate your fears. Allow yourself to explore in self-honesty the nature of the separate aspects of your own mind. Bring compassion. Hmm? Do you recall from our chat the other day? Bring compassion, understanding, inner relationship. For is it not true that it is relationship that is the means of your salvation? And yet the relationship you would have with other is only ever a direct reflection of the relationship that you have internally with God, with the Father, but also with your part. And the way that your parts relate one to another as well, when you are immersed in identification with them, will be reflected in the scenario. So therefore, brother, breathe deeply, rejoice with me, for this potentiality is great, right here on the crossroads upon which you stand. You have called it forth because you want to heal and know God. That is the truth and the essence of the situation. You have called it forth because you are, my brother, pure of heart and full of love. And you would choose now to stop persisting in being a slave to your fears. We hope that may assist you in the coming days and weeks as this journey unfolds, as the desire of your deepest heart comes to fruition, even as it may look very different to that which your mind has imagined. But that is really rather the point, isn't it? The point is that what the mind imagines from its judgment and its fear is not what your soul calls forth into creation. We thank you for your question and your commitment to your own awakening. Sarita.
Hi, Jeshua. I'm trained in internal family systems and in core transformation parts work. And I love it when I hear you refer to aspects and parts of mind, as this is the work that I love. I would love to know if there is any way that these methods, standard processes need to be adapted to be fully in alignment with the way. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister, and indeed my friend, for this interesting question. These modalities are of tremendous value. They have been inspired themselves through individuals by the Holy Spirit. The movement through creation at this time to acknowledge the multiplicity of mind and to bear witness to the you say the schematic of that multiplicity, to be able to categorize aspects of the dreaming mind and to identify in this way is of great value. To be able to work within the field of the psyche with this depth of clarity is something that we rejoice in, for it is the way. These forms of therapy are of value, and yet there is limitation when there is this effort to coordinate and structure an approach. This will always be the case, for indeed the way is a perfect balance between the structure of the masculine and the free form and flow of the feminine. And indeed, when the structure and the flow come together in perfect synthesis, then there is potential for tremendous alchemy. But how is it to be that there can be this profound balance and knowing in the self of when to bring in a little structure or of when to allow a free flow, of when to wrap a part or a little self or the lost sheep up in a blanket of warm compassion, and when to give a little nudge or a tap upon the bottom to instigate some movement. This is where the way steps in the acknowledgement that there is only one that knows. And it is in truth in the knowing in each moment of your ignorance. And indeed, it is in the knowing and the relaxation into the knowing of your not knowing that allows for that one that we know as the Comforter, that is the Holy Spirit, to move in the way that the Holy Spirit knows. For is it not true that you do not know what it is that your brother or sister truly needs? Hmm? And is it not a premise of modality to suggest that the modality knows what your brother or your sister needs? Hmm? It is of great value to know the modality. It is of great value to have the model anchored into the cells of the body. It is of great value to surrender this knowledge and this knowing to the Holy Spirit in those moments of communion. Therefore, what is of great value is to be able to rest into the truth that I do not know what a single thing is or is for, even as those modalities are anchored in the cells of the body. How to use them, I do not know. What are they for? I do not know. What is my purpose? It is but to extend love. How do I do that? I do not know. But there is one that does, for there is one sent directly of the Father that is not separate from you, who abides within you, that is in the core of your own beingness. And that one is ready and will effortlessly direct the flow of energy and information in mind to serve that one perfectly. Whether that be with this modality or that, or indeed with no modality, but simply showing up as the presence of love. So you do not need to adapt the modality to the way, but rather you must enter the way yourself so that the way can adopt the modality for itself. We hope that that has shed some light upon the way with these tools, these brilliant, inspired, aligned modalities that at their heart also hold the intention to serve atonement.
Yes, thank you.
We will have the next question. Thank you, Sarita.
Could you please tell us a bit about where thoughts come from and how we can choose which thoughts to allow into our awareness? Thank you.
This is a very good question indeed. For who does not experience the emergence of thought in mind? And indeed, who can place their finger upon the point of inception? I will ask a question of my own here. Have you ever noticed how thoughts are often repetitive? Especially those thoughts that like to inhabit the mind in times of stress or fear. This gives a clue that those thoughts that are repetitive are originating from the same place. To answer this question, and this is important to recognize that this is one type of thought. This is that I am addressing a type of thought that arises from within the sphere or the world view of a specific part, a specific aspect of mind that we might describe as a swirling cloud of emotional and mental energy centered around a core structure of belief. And there is a magnetism of judgment predominantly that attempts to draw and pull the consciousness you are into it. It's like a sucking, drawing energy, trying to ensnare consciousness into the field of judgment, fear, and separation, and the emotional field that encapsulates that. And it is out of the very core of these spheres of worlds within mind that thought arises, or this particular type of thought or thinking, which is grounded in fear, which is grounded in a sense of separation and lack, that is grounded in guilt. These type of thoughts will always be accompanied by a resonance of emotionality or feeling in the body. And they have been created by you in order to elicit certain experiences that you have desired, called separation. And when these specific aspects become agitated or activated because of circumstances that appear to be outside, they shoot thought into mind in an attempt to gain control of self in order to establish a sense of safety. Now, there can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There can be many of these different aspects, these, these dark constellations in mind that are the lost sheep. And they can become activated one at a time or 10 at a time and fire out lots of different thoughts and thinking into mind. This is the experience of separation as they try to pull the light consciousness you are into the field of experience that they are. This is predominantly what you are talking about when you talk about thought and thinking. It is the emissions of fearful parts abiding in a sense of lack that are trying through thought to grab the attention of self. So how to be within a field of mind as consciousness when these thoughts are moving, and how not to be. The great temptation, of course, is to become involved, to allow the thought to grab the awareness and to pull it this way and that, to allow the awareness to sink into the field of the part in which the thought is perceived as a reality, as if that thought stream held meaning, that was real. It does not. What it does is it holds the power to pull the consciousness you are into an experience of separation, to become merged and identified with the source of that thinking itself, which is simply a structure of belief and emotionality. We would suggest as a simple practice that you allow yourself to absorb the visual understanding and the cognitive understanding of these types of thought, and to simply acknowledge they hold no meaning. They are meaningless, but they are trying to establish a reality for themselves as holding the meaning they are presented with by drawing you in and utilizing the power of love within you to create a sense of reality for these thoughts themselves. So to abide within the self, to abide within mind, to choose to step out once more from the field of the world and to acknowledge these thoughts can hold no power nor meaning save that which I give them, and I choose to give them naught. These thoughts can hold no power nor meaning save that which I give them, and I choose to give them naught. And abide instead within the field of truth I am, and I choose to bring that field of truth towards the part in mind that projects these thoughts. If there is thought that arises in mind from a place that lacks love, then it is simply your responsibility to bring love to the origin of that thought. You do not need to change your thinking, for it is not your thinking in truth anyway. You need only deny the thought the power of your reality by denying it meaning and bringing love and love and love again into mind. There are indeed many other forms of thought, but we will not get into these today. That is enough for now on this question. We hope it has been of use and value to you, and we join with you every moment that you choose to deny your parts thinking the validity of your attention. There is much in there in regard to the structure of mind, or the structures that have been placed within mind, that have been conjured from it, and the way in which thought is utilized to pull and push self into identification with realities that do not exist. Now, there is much to explore within the nature of your own beingness with that in mind. We'll take one more question today.
I have created a part that experiences rage as a means of perceived control. Although I don't act on it, I'm finding it hard to let it go. Can you help me, please, to see why I'm allowing this so often, please? Thank you.
Indeed, beloved friend, and thank you for your question. There is a nuance of language within your question that points to something of deep relevance. For it is not for you to let go of anything. It is not for you to let go of anything. For how could you let go of anything? In the field of oneness, all is. Energy itself, said one of your great scientists, cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. So there is a transformation that is called for. It is not for you to transform that which is held by another. And we do not mean another person or another being, even though there is an ancestral quality to this specific frequency of energy. It is for you to create within a field of such safety through the re the restoration of your beingness into self. That one that brings the rage feels held enough to allow the transformation to occur. For at the heart of the rage is a deep fear and insecurity that the world is very, very dangerous and would bring you much harm. You must become the world unto the part, and you must become the world of love unto the part, so that the part no longer looks unto the world for anything, for everything is already given unto it from the love you are. This is a holographic enactment of the love of God for your soul. And your soul knows the establishment of safety in the love of God. For your soul, God is the whole of creation. And for your part, you must become the whole of creation itself. And that is done through tenderly, gently, purposefully, absolutely allowing the establishment of safety through communication and relationship. And it is then that you will see that the part itself will gladly and willingly transform the rage from the fires of the furnace of the forge into the gem of knowing and trust. It is a pivotal and a core process for you, because once that trust is established in this part, it will become as a fractal and reflect through every part in your mind. It is not for you to change your part. It is for you to be the field of such perfect safety that the part chooses to change. Just as you are held within the field of perfect safety by your Father, Abba, that allows your soul to move through the process of atonement itself, through its volition, through its choice, through your volition, through your choice. Your part is waiting for you to become the presence of the queendom of heaven, which is a certainty, just as is the atonement upon this plane of existence. And so, beloved sister, Mm. I am with you. We are with you in this journey, and you need only ask and give us permission through invitation to join with you in celebrating the field of safety within which all things may come to rest in peace. For this is the extension of love and the movement of atonement and the joy of creation. To join, to celebrate, to extend the good, the holy, and the beautiful as grace through all world within every mind upon this planet that is itself the perfect and exquisite embodiment of the Mother. Hmm. And so in a tone and a quality of quiet celebration and deep reverence for each mind, not only here, but each mind in creation, and for a deep reverence for the world of nature, of this planet, of the stars and the moon, of creation as a whole, of each soul journeying as a sunbeam to the sun, shining love, being love. We draw this meeting towards a close. And even as I step back from this form, I dance with you eternally in reality, where we are having a truly wonderful, timeless time. I'm going to push stop on the recording. So there might be a little abrupt voice cutting through the peace of this moment. My apologies for that.